Jerry Jones, not only a smart man, but quite the wordsmith. I don't know if you know what he did there. Hallmark win. Hallmark based in Kansas City, Missouri. Much like the soon-to-be best team in the NFL based in Kansas City, Missouri, the Kansas City Chiefs. So here's the thing. Here's what Jerry Jones knows. Jerry Jones knows the worst year for the Chiefs since Patrick Mahomes took over is better than the best year for the Cowboys since Troy Aikman left. So 7-2, 6-4 doesn't matter. You have one team that no matter what, the media will try to lead you to believe about a blueprint, overrated, a stillborn dynasty, all these things. The actual other teams in the league still look at Kansas City as the team to beat. And by the way, the Dallas Cowboys can beat them. This is not some guaranteed victory for the Chiefs. The Cowboys are an extraordinary team. As Jenna alluded to, there's a reason they're at the top, 3 times at the top of the committee's prestigious tiers. However, what I am interested to see and what I am most interested to watch in this game, Broussard, is we saw Kansas City dominate the Raiders. So Gus Bradley is the Raiders' defensive coordinator. He didn't do what other teams have been doing, the 2 high shell safeties.
Right.
He did single high throughout a lot of the game. So where did Gus Bradley come from? Pete Carroll tree. Who is the Cowboys' defensive coordinator? Dan Quinn, same tree. Same style of defense that he wants to run. Is Dan Quinn going to try to do what we do, or is he going to adjust? That's the first factor.
Right.
The second factor that I want to see is how much of the Chiefs' defensive resurgence over the last 5 weeks is real. Now, I've shown you the graphics that they're, the best second-half defense of the last 20 years in the NFL. We know that. However, even I will say some of that is Daniel Jones, Jordan Love, and then Derek Carr kind of giving up mid-game. Dak Prescott and a healthy Cowboys team can beat you in every different direction. Dak can beat you. The receivers can beat you, and we know their dual-threat running back can beat you. So I don't need the Chiefs to, pitch a second-half shutout as they have been doing consistently over the last month. But can they hold Dallas to 24? Can they show some resistance? Those are the things that, to me, will give real evidence that the Chiefs, once the defense got healthier and once they stopped playing Daniel Sorensen all the time, that they're a credible defense. So this is the game of the week for a reason. But to answer the question directly before I throw it to you, I think the victory would say more for the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys are still trying to prove that they belong at the grown-ups table. The Chiefs, everyone knows they belong at the grown-ups table. The question just is, did they have too much to drink before they sat down and they're spilling the food on themselves? The Cowboys, if they win this game, will be considered unanimously a credible Super Bowl contender or favorite. The Chiefs already are considered that. So I believe the game actually means more for Dallas.
All right, Nick, I agree with a lot of what you said. Like you, I'm interested in seeing, is this Chiefs defense really improved? They've allowed fewer than 13 points a game over their last 3. Impressive until you really look at who they were playing. The Giants, no big deal holding them down. The Packers without Aaron Rodgers. And the Raiders, who had a good offense but have been stumbling, the week before they stumbled.
Yes.
Right. And they lost Henry Riggs, which obviously hurt you physically on the field, but that had to have an emotional impact in that locker room that might derail the rest of their season. So they weren't the same team. So Dallas, as you said, is a real test for that defense. And if they do hold them to 24, as you suggested, that'll be impressive. And that will tell us, okay, this defense is now for real. And obviously you got faith in the offense. So the Chiefs are back. And for that reason, Nick, I think this victory would say more about the Chiefs if they win. Because I disagree with you. I think we know what Dallas is. Yeah, we look back at the last quarter century and say, oh, they can't be that good. Look at the last 25 years with them. They haven't done anything. But these are different guys. It's a different team. They've beaten good teams already this year. All right, they are legit. If they lose this game, no one's going to say, oh, see, same old Cowboys. They're not for real. No, they are for real. Kansas City, look, we don't know, Nick. One great game against, as I said, an emotionally torn Raiders team doesn't necessarily mean they got their swagger back. All right, they've got to go out and prove it. We're saying they're elite based on the last 3 years, not based on anything really that they've done this year. You see, most of the good teams they've played, they've lost to, and some of them they've lost badly to. So I think if they come out and beat Dallas, we will know for sure, Nick, that the Chiefs are back. There'll be no more doubt.
So I'm gonna flip it, Broussard. And Nick, I'll ask you a serious question. I'm not gonna troll you or anything, although people seem to enjoy that. If the Chiefs lose in ugly or just like moderately ugly, but it's not like a close one that goes to overtime that you lose by a field goal. It's something where it feels like the offense is stilted. Do you think that will be an emotional toll on the Chiefs? Because I know we had a lot of fun with, like, they got their swagger back, but that was a real thing. Mahomes was talking about it, Kelsey was talking about it, and granted it manifested in a meme, but it showed us that they were lacking a bit of confidence, and they needed their confidence to come back up.
Yeah.
So now the thing that I would be worried about if I were you, that if they lose to the Cowboys, does that confidence not go middle, like we talked about how Giannis said, hey, don't go too far up, too high, too down. It feels like the Chiefs are on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. And if they lose this one, they're like, man, we only had our swagger for one game. Are you actually worried about what a loss would do to the Chiefs? They'd still be in it, but I feel like it would be a real, like, arrow to their heart.
Well, I think, so listen, if they lose 35-32, I don't think that's going to hurt them emotionally at all. Remember, after the Titans loss, we looked at the schedule and we said, they've got the Giants, they've got the Packers, they've got the Raiders, and they've got the Cowboys. If they don't at least go 2-2, their season's over. If they go 3-1, they're in good shape. And if they go 4-0, we didn't even consider that a realistic possibility. Well, they're 3-0. And I understand folks are saying, well, but the Packers game, they still played them. Like, they still played the Packers, and the Packers still are the team that, with Aaron Rodgers, only had 3 points through 3 quarters against Seattle. And so I don't think they have to win the game. But to answer your point, Wilds, if they lose and the offense looks similar to how it looked against the Giants, in a win, by the way, I think that will be psychologically damaging for Kansas City. I do think that. But I don't think that is on the table. I think that we do have to have enough of a tempered analysis to say what Andy Reid said after the Raiders game was correct. Every quarterback in NFL history has gone through slumps, and every quarterback in NFL history went through their first slump earlier than Mahomes did. So the idea that Mahomes is going to be extra penalized because he finally went through a slump, to me, is illogical. And so he went through a slump. I believed he got out of it with that throw against the Packers. That obviously right now is the leading candidate for Sports Take of the Year because it looks so accurate. So we'll see how that continues. But we'll just see. Let's just see if he plays great this week. 35-50, 400 yards, 5 touchdowns.
I don't
Seems
say
pretty
so
good
myself.
all since that pass. But again, I am not puffing my chest out here and saying the Chiefs can't lose to Dallas. There's a reason it's a 2.5-point line. Dallas is a really good team. But I think Jerry's comments, Jenna, confirm that even though they're 7-2 and the Chiefs are 6-4, they feel like the underdogs because they should feel like the underdogs.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.